So, Joe, thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about two of Ronatec's products. But first, give us an overview of all that Ronatec does for the finishing industry and how you serve them.
Very good. Well, Ronatec is essentially divided into two business sections. We are a specialty chemical supplier to the metal finishing industry, and we also provide turnkey engineering services, plating line fabrication, individual tanks, filtration systems, carbonate removal systems, really anything you could picture going into a metal finishing shop.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are priming to expand and put some lines in, so it's a very much needed service there for that. So let's talk about two products. The first one we're going to talk about, most of these are EN products. Let's talk about the EN1000, what that one does. Give me a little bit of overview of that product.
Let me give you a little background to start with this one. This was developed in conjunction with a plating shop here in Southern California, MB Plating in Santa Ana, with consultation from the Boeing specification custodian for the C-17 program for electroless nickel applications and Hill Air Force Base. So this is a very well-worn medium phosphorus electroless nickel. It passes all of your standard testing for 26074 and 2404. However, it meets about 20 different aerospace specs as well due to the nature of MB plating. They have every approval under the sun. Therefore, we're just about qualified for every one of them. Of particular note is the one that we worked on for Boeing with them, which is DPS 9.67. That is a 200-hour salt spray test. The industry standard is 100 hours. So it's a very exceptional bath in terms of NSS performance. Now, I have a list of some of the customers that the end users that are using this. It's pretty extensive. I'll do a couple notable ones. Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, Bell Helicopter, GE Aviation, Gulfstream, Honeywell, Messier Dowdy, Moog, Northrop Grumman, Parker, Raytheon, and it gets pretty excessive after that. So we've been approved for just about every EN application for medium phosphorus.
When was this developed? How long ago was that?
It's been in use for over 10 years at MB Plating. We've recently more aggressively commercialized the product, and it's finding a lot of new homes.
Right. So this is a bright medium phosphate, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a full bright medium phosphorus electroless nickel process. It is fully RoHS compliant.
Gotcha. I understand that, and this is very important. I guess it's fairly good for high speed production, right? I mean, it kind of fits that bill for that, right?
It is. You can expect about 6 to 8 tenths an hour. You can run it faster if you'd like. However, we find that's usually the sweet spot where we like to operate the bath.
Gotcha. And it's for rack and barrel, right? So it kind of fits both whatever somebody may need in that regard, right?
Yes, it can be rack, barrel. We can flow it through the ID of a part to plate the interior. It's pretty robust. Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's jump to the second one now, the CSB. EN. I don't know what CSB stands for, so start there with that, if you could.
Okay. It stands for Connector Semi-Bright.
Gotcha.
So the CSB is a iteration of the EN1000, whereas the EN1000 would be a full bright bath. The CSB is for mil DTL 38999 connector applications. And to that end, it operates at a matte to semi-bright finish as required by that industry.
Right. This is more for the connector industry, I'm assuming, with that, right?
It is. It really is.
Right. What are some of the characteristics? It's more ductile than what you would normally get with that. So tell us a little bit about some of the characteristics people would get off of that.
Okay, well, there's great ductility, which comes into play when you connect the connectors and then crimp them together. So we don't see any adhesion or flaking due to stress in the deposit due to excessive heavy metal brighteners. It also exhibits great receptivity to subsequent zinc nickel finishing, which is important. That's about 30% of the work out there right now for the connector industry. Let's see what else. It has marginally better salt spray performance due to the lower brightener content.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think I was reading on your sheet too. Very good for high build applications as well, if needed with that.
It is, and that's due to the lower brightener concentration. However, the EN1000 is also used to build out to, I'd say, 8 mil thicknesses for certain clients. So both are good for high build applications.
Right, right. Yeah. I was going to say, you are one of the few companies that, triple threat, right? You make your chemistry, you distribute the chemistry for really working with the shops. And then, like I said, even going in with equipment and helping build the lines. I mean, sometimes you've got to find three different groups, right, to come in and get them to meld together. So that's something that I think Ronatec has really defined itself as a company that can really do all the ones that, build the line, uh, provide the chemistry, and then really give that technical support as well to get it up and running, dialed in exactly as quickly as these guys want to get it dialed in, right? I mean,
I feel we're truly unique in the industry in that regard. One
mhm.
of the great things about being fully integrated like that is, for example, if I'm on a troubleshooting call for an electroless nickel issue, and we know everything's fine with the chemistry, I can have a coworker come in and let's take a look at the heat exchangers. Let's take a look at the tank. Let's really break down the entire process from the ground up, and then work
Hmm.
our way to the chemistry. And so it's oftentimes people walk in with the blinders on. They point fingers, but it's nice to be able to just get in there and fix the problem.
Right. Yeah. If it's not the equipment or the chemistry or the process, you're going to find it some way. And like I said, if that ever arises with that, and yeah, like I said, I know that that's something that a lot of facilities kind of want to, they kind of want to narrow who they're dealing with a little bit more, so that they can, like you said, that if there is an issue, they know exactly who can help them if they get something fixed with that, right?
It's also very nice to be able to, okay, say for example, I am bringing a new electroless nickel process to market. How do we want to design these tanks
Right.
that we're going to be using? And so there are oftentimes design considerations for the plating cell that definitely are informed by the chemistry itself. So it's really nice to be able to have that all on the table.